So out in Fayetville, this is our newest property. We're either going to rent out and sell it, or we're going to turn it into another flip property. A lot of stuff that's going to be done, but it's a cold, wet, rainy day here in North Carolina, and getting it started up here. This house, it's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, and we're buying it for $60,000. I'm gonna put probably about 10 to 15 into it. Should sell for anywhere from maybe 80 to 90, maybe 100 if we're good on our attention to detail and stuff. So this is the back of the house. On the back of the house is this little section here. The idea is to raise the floor to meet here, right? So the floor will get raised, the door will be sealed in, and then we're going to turn this into a bathroom. So that needs to get moved or do something with that. A door will be popped through the wall right there, and then this will become the second bathroom. So this was a roof leak. The roof leak's been repaired. It's got to get painted.
Yeah. You're gonna have to kills the ceiling. So, kills the paint.
Other than that, the place looks nice. Smells like dog.
Yeah, I think if you clean it, it might be okay. It's hard to know.
One of my trash vendors, his wife is a house cleaner, so I could hire them as a team and have both things.
Well, anyway, have the trash taken away.
And this is, I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Sorry, what?
What's your name again?
Lauren,
With
the key group.
the Key Group,
Yeah.
and they do the management.
Yeah.
Do.
I can send you the info. Yeah.
Please do, send it out.
Yeah. So you have it, but, okay, we're cool. So, he and I are just gonna convince it that, and then we're gonna go along. I'm just gonna change that a lot.
Yeah. That's the only keyboard, right?
Well, it used to lock. But
Well, I mean, it locks from the inside, but I
Yeah.
don't think you can access
I don't think so either. I'll tell you what I did, just so you know.
Sure.
We put that in because they were just dumping it into the crawl space. It actually goes out through a vent.
Okay.
So that for years they were dumping it into the crawl space.
All the
Yeah. I had an electrician come down. It's a buddy of mine.
Sure.
And
I'm
he
just
checked-
recording everything.
That's fine.
That way my wife also knows.
He
what's
checked
going
the
on.
service panel, took care of some minor problems. He also did the GFCI stuff for
Okay.
the kitchen because they weren't.
Right.
And he put up the smoke detectors as well for me since he was here.
Sure.
Otherwise, I would have. But I had him specifically for the panel. Since I had him here,
Right.
I always give him a day's work when I,
Sure.
you know,
Right.
and I mean. It was less than an hour, so I had a list of stuff. I said, do all of it if you can, or whatever it takes you to do your day.
Sure.
And so anyway, so he took care of a lot of little things, and he went through the service. So electrically, you're in good shape.
Okay.
Okay. I changed the kitchen fixture. This I changed.
Well, you did a very nice job.
Yeah, no, it's just that's all. But the cabinets are what they are.
Yeah.
I was going to paint them, but the tenant didn't want these painted. She had come in and seen the house. We painted these rooms.
Right.
You know, Logan did that. Logan put that vent in too. But she said no, she liked the wooden cabinets. So yeah, and Logan. Look, originally this refrigerator was here, blocking the window, and this didn't exist.
Right.
I returned it to its original position, which is where the house was built for, so that you could actually have the washer and dryer and still get to the service panel.
Sure.
Because this is how the house was originally built. That wasn't, I don't think, there when the house was built, but there was a standpipe. So,
If you're going to sell or rent, you will want to paint the cabinets.
Okay.
For a tenant
Yeah.
to like the wood is
Yeah.
unusual.
yeah, she just happened to like it, so I left it.
Changing
And
all the trim to white instead of wood, changing
Yeah.
the cabinets,
Sure.
it'll definitely go
Yeah.
much faster.
we did a compromise because, like I said, I had planned it, I had worked on it, she came out, she liked it, and since they were gonna rent it, we said the heck with it, you know?
Yeah, why
I didn't
not?
have a problem with it, but she is correct, we would have just painted everything. And
The floor looks nice.
We
It
went
does.
with Tiffany's
There's one little damage in
recommendation,
here on the floor.
doe skin,
Oh, doe skin. How nice.
Is that what it's called?
the color. You
Let
know
me
what that
show you
is?
this
That's called dirty deer color.
Right, right.
It's not beige and it's not gray.
I would have gone with gray, because gray is the
Well,
new.
gray's, but it's between the two.
That needs a little repair. I took a picture of it too.
So they chipped it or it's chipped.
Some such happened, yeah.
It's an old problem, they just chipped it, because that's not something they did.
And how are the windows?
Old windows with storms. That was another thing on my list to consider. You know, they all pretty much work. I made sure that the bedroom windows open and closed because of
Right.
egress. But, you know, they are old windows and storms. In theory, you could replace the storms for inexpensive. They're probably under $30 to buy.
Sure.
But then the question is, would it make more sense just to replace windows?
Well, I mean, our intention is to flip.
Yeah, so if
So-
you're flipping
Flip
it,
this out?
Yeah.
if you're flipping it, you might want to just yank the windows and replace them, depending on what your contacts are and what you want to do. You can probably replace the windows for right around $200 a piece.
Okay.
So maybe $250 including labor. It's pretty simple.
So flipping and not re-renting, I would say, don't worry about the dog smell because it's gonna go away.
Yeah.
If you're doing any kind of painting, it's gonna overpower the dog smell
Right.
for sure. So when we do the trash haul and clean up the stuff that they left behind, that
Right.
little bit of chemicals plus whatever work you're doing is probably gonna take care of it.
Sure. Yep.
So that's what the plan is. The plan is to charge for trash haul, light cleaning,
Right.
and I think I wrote.
So that's all, as far as the security deposit, that's the only thing I would deduct from it.
And the
So-
shed's full of stuff.
Yeah, that's part of the trash haul.
Trash haul.
Yeah, all of that will go.
So
away.
just have somebody do it, whatever they charge, it comes against it. That's life.
That's like,
Yep,
they could have taken it away themselves.
they could have.
So, all right, well, great to meet you.
Yes, it was very nice to
Nice to meet you as well.
Yep.
If the selling doesn't work out and you want
Yeah.
to rent, give me a
What's
call.
your phone number?
He has it. Let me
I'll
have
give,
it.
I'll give you all
Okay.
the
Well,
contact.
I'll send it to you if you want
Yeah,
it.
I'll give you all the contact info, so
All right, cool.
you guys can exchange it if you want to.
Yeah, I'll send it real quick. What's yours, Josh? I'll text it to you.
It's 954-547.
Hang on, 954
Yep, 954-547-3751.
547
3751.
375.
And as far as, like you were saying, if we're gonna do the one bathroom, you'd do them both at the same time?
Me.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's nothing. I'd have guys come in and demo the whole thing, and if you look at, right where that wall is, it's kind of right there.
Right.
So I was looking at how the building is lined, and there's wasted space there. And basically, I'm gonna, make a space that's more usable by combining the spaces.
Sure.
So I can lay it out better. It's a little more challenging maybe for some folks, but for me, it's not.
Okay.
And I probably would have expanded that room, so I would have had a really great master suite bath and the old bath that renovated. That's all. And the reason I was renovating the bath is just because it looks dated.
Right.
If I'm gonna sell the property, this is what I'm looking at.
Well, it looks like tile over tile too, if you look at the floor.
Yeah, it's been there 100 million years, so.
So if you're gonna do that, you would jackhammer it out.
Yeah, it's just, again, that to me, I can bring in the demo guys and then I figure out the layout. But like I said, this is all wasted space, the way this is done here.
Right.
This is just a waste. You could still have a closet, but it doesn't need to be this deep.
Right.
This doesn't need to be this way, the way it's done here, the return air vent. There's a lot of little things that from a contractor's perspective, I can just change, and all of a sudden, I now have a big piece of space to fool with.
Would you pull permits on it?
I would, because it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can Logan?
Yeah, he should be able to, because he's not doing, he's not licensed, he doesn't need to be. He's doing under 30 grand, he can do it. It's
Okay.
legal. I'm a licensed contractor, so it's a different story, but
Okay.
unlicensed, they're allowed to pull up to 30.
Okay.
And this isn't gonna cost you that.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
Sandra had said it would cost between like 5 to 10.
yeah, I figured 10 by the time would be my guess. It would cost me, I already figured it out, I had it budgeted at 8.
Okay.
But again, I'm doing some of the work.
Sure.
So you might go over 10, you might be at 12 by the time you're done. But as long as you manage this well, and you don't have to bust this out, you can keep the configuration.
This
You
is
know,
for the attic.
there used to be a fan that's not here anymore. It's the old fan, maybe you've never seen them, the whole house fans.
Okay.
That's not here. It's gone.
Got
This took its place some years ago. It was here.
Attic.
Yes. And the attic access used to be in there or in one of the closets, I don't remember.
Right.
Yeah.
And you said the roof is not
The roof
leaking
is not
currently.
bad, it's new, newer, but when they installed it, they didn't do the greatest job nailing the shingles. I have a light.
I would make that the
Yeah,
light.
that was a fan.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of your hair.
Take care,
If you
Laura.
need anything else?
See ya.
Let me know if you need
Thanks for all your help.
You're very welcome.
Now it's a big deal. I'm gonna.
Well, it's
yeah.
also, this is metal, right?
Yeah, it's actually iron.
Iron, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah. You have to hit it with a sledgehammer or bust it up. It's not something simple, but I've done tons of these jobs.
yeah, I've
So
taken out tubs.
it's up to you what you do. But what I would consider doing is either covering this, you can epoxy this, or rip it out, rip that out. I'd have bath fitters in here doing this.
Okay.
Or if you want to do what I'm doing, like I said, I would take out the whole assembly and then get rid of this wall and change the bathroom.
And reconfigure it? How would
Yes.
you reconfigure it? Just
Probably, I might actually turn the tub and then put the toilet behind the door. You know, because that's nothing.
curious. How would you do with the vent then?
The vent's gone, it just moves, it's gonna go under here.
Okay.
I also don't like vents in the floors, but that's another story. It doesn't really
You
matter.
put it in the wall?
I bring it up the wall, yeah. I don't like them in the floor in bathrooms,
Yeah.
because shit happens. And where does the water go?
Yeah. Down here.
Down the vent, it's just, anyway. You're doing it as a flip, not as a tenant. I'm thinking like landlord.
Right.
So I look at, things differently, because I've been a landlord a long time.
Sure.
So, but from a sales perspective, you don't have to turn anything. All I would do is just dress it up, and it's up to you how far you go. I would just consider the floor and the tile, and having bath fitters do the tub or something, and then it's up to you. You don't have to. Obviously, you could leave it, but that looks dated to me.
Sure.
So,
Yeah. Looks like somebody ripped this down,
Yes.
and then they put a piece of wood over it.
I put the piece of wood up, and unfortunately, I never finished it. As you can see, I was in a hurry. She got me up against the time deal. Normally, this is how I normally mount all town
And
doors.
this looks like the dog's probably scratched the hell out of the screen too.
Possible, yeah.
It's not charged for that.
I don't. I never put towel bars on the wall. I always put them on wood.
Really?
Yeah, always. And I made that piece of wood out of scrap. And unfortunately, I was in a hurry. You can see the router skipped. You know.
Never put a towel bar directly in.
Never. Not in a rental. No. No, because it gets ripped off the wall all the time. I never mount shit to drywall. It's just kids, people, tenants. They're not careful. This, if they rip it off, is easier to fix. Piece of 1x4, literally that I had left over from something that I ran the router around fast. That's what this is.
Right.
Again, I did a lousy job because I was in a hurry.
Right.
But that's how I always mount.
For rentals. Cheap
Yes.
rentals.
Yes.
Obviously, if it was a
Nice around.
$3,000 a month rental
Yeah,
or
you
something.
wouldn't have to. Like my daughter owns a place in downtown Raleigh near the governor's mansion, and they get a good chunk of change for that.
Right.
So, and I manage their property there.
Now this up here,
That's just from shower. That needs to be painted.
it's not mold or any.
It's probably mold, but it's just needs. You're gonna have to paint.
Yeah.
So you just put kills on the ceiling, and it's a good practice in rental properties that you use a sealer before you paint. Period. So kills
Okay.
or a product like it.
Right.
You don't have to use it. You should use it here. You have to use it where the leak was. If you paint over that, it's coming back.
Well, you're gonna probably, if you're gonna paint one section of the ceiling, aren't you gonna paint it?
No, what I'm saying is you use kills where the stains are.
Right.
And then you paint the whole ceiling. If you paint the whole ceiling, that will come back.
Okay.
It will ghost through the paint
Right.
because that's just the nature of the stain.
Okay. So I'll make sure Logan knows all this.
He should anyway.
'Cause he's-
But, yeah, you just clarify what you're having him do, and ask him, what are you doing, and he should tell you. But he should know enough to do it.
But he can paint. Logan can handle everything.
Yes.
Okay.
If you get him to do it, and like she said, they're not using him as much right now because Logan actually doesn't want to work for them as much because he makes more money working for you and I.
Right. Okay.
So.
But you think that for doing everything here, where do you?
Oh, money wise?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think you're gonna paint all the trim.
Yes.
Out. Yeah, paint all the trim out, paint the ceilings. You might, I can get it painted, whether he does it or anybody does it, I can probably have it painted all for around $1,500.
Ceiling.
So, everything.
Everything.
Everything. Not the floors. Everything.
Right. Okay.
Everything here.
Good.
Okay. If you want alternate sources, I can give you some names.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Knopfli is the padrone, and there's at least 30 guys that are part of his family.
Okay.
So.
You got the connections. Like I told Sandra, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't have the connections here. I don't have a team. I don't.
Knopfli is interesting, and he will overcharge you if you let him.
That's why I need to know where I need to be.
Yeah. He will overcharge you if you let him. The key to getting Knopfli is definitely January and February. Because I get prices like I had him paint the rental house and he wanted just the ceilings. You know, now remember, this is a 6-bedroom house. And
Right.
he's not doing the bedrooms, he's doing everything else.
Sure.
Not the bedrooms. $3,000 to paint the ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay, I had him do it in February and he charged me $1,000. This is typical of Knopfli because he calls me up in January and says, I need work.
Right.
January and February, because he goes, his family was from the Baja area of Mexico, so he goes and visits grandma and everybody, and their work dries up every year. So if you have work, January is the perfect time to have that guy come and look, because he'll be looking for work.
Got it.
And he's one of the few Mexican painters who's neat, doesn't leave a mess.
Okay.
Now that doesn't, he won't if you let him, but generally speaking, he won't leave a mess. And you just tell him, you leave the place clean.
Right.
And he knows exactly what that means.
Right.
You know? So you get a lot of Mexican painters, and they can paint, but they leave a mess because they work for builders, and the builders have somebody clean up after them.
Right.
So,
Or else the floor isn't done yet.
yeah.
Right.
So just to understand, but yeah, and I would just, like you said, I would paint the place, and whether I did the windows or not is really up the question. But for me, I probably would lean to replacing the windows just because. For me, it's a minor thing, but you might watch your pennies, and because that might push you over your budget where you want to be.
I mean, it's all about the cost return
Correct.
on investment.
And then let's look at this thing outside, and I'll tell you what I was thinking about. Oh, the bar. Put it back.
Yep. She did. She's good like that.
Okay. So if you look at that size of that area and the closet inside, you could put a toilet, a sink, and a stand-up shower, but it's going to be a very small bath.
Right.
What I was going to do was actually enlarge that space. That was what I was going to do, because again, for me, it's not a big deal, but for you, it's an expense.
Sure.
And it's a bigger expense because if I do it, I'm doing some of the work and I'm subbing out pieces. I'm
Right.
coordinating. So I could have spent the same amount of money and got twice as much work done.
Okay.
Where it's a little harder for you. You can. It's just harder for you to do it. So but you can from that footprint. You've got enough room. Of course, the floor, of course, is going to come up. You know.
Sure.
But you've got enough room to do it. It's just not what I was intending, because I was, like I said, I wanted to have the second bath be nicer or as nice as the first bath.
Sure thing.
That's all. So, but cost-wise, it'd be smarter not to do that, because that'll blow you up another $3,000 or $4,000.
Okay.
You know, so we're getting wet. It's really a crappy day. You never know, this was all cleaned up. You know, I was here after the storm for the roof, and there was no debris left because we had it all removed. And where did this come from?
We needed to rake something up for you.
I probably would replace the countertop if you're gonna sell it, because you want to make it look nice. So,
Now in Florida, I can get granite for pretty darn cheap.
yeah, you can get, and I left that piece there. When I did this cabin, I told Logan, go ahead and leave it. because he picked up a cabinet locally for me.
Right.
And I think that might even be an oven that I brought in. I can't remember.
Okay.
Because I think it had the cheap electric, and I always go with the flat cooktop because I don't like, for rentals, I don't like cook they can't clean. You know, the kind with their old elements, they get filthy and nobody cleans them.
Sure. Yeah.
This, if they break it, I don't care. You know,
All right.
I get a new top for that. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't care. But everybody has their different ways they do it. Like I said, I've been in the rental business, so I think that way.
Well, that's fascinating to me because I've flipped a few homes and I
Yeah.
had some rentals, but you know.
Yeah, it's just different way of thinking. That's all.
Sure thing.
I'm going to give you one of these keys, just so we won't have to worry about it. You can see the latch.
What's that?
Go ahead and fill it, Lauren. You're on video.
Yeah, there you go. Fill it, Laura. She'll respond to me, and that's fine.
So that's what, 919?
910 likely.
910.
910 is the area.
This is the house across the street. Nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's check it out.